I came up with 3 steps that if you embrace and implement to your life, you will have the freedom that I was talking about earlier. Number 1 is be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. There are so many people out there that are so afraid to be honest with themselves because they cannot imagine dealing with the repercussions of making a certain decision. But they know in their heart of hearts that if they're honest with themselves, that is the decision that they should make. Most people don't ever go for what they truly want. They only go for what they think they can get. I want you to think about that one. How many of you are setting goals because this is what somebody told me I'm capable of? This is what I told myself that I was capable of. You made an agreement with yourself a long time ago of what you think you're capable of. And it was based on your paradigm, on your past experiences. Well, I'm here to tell you, let go of that idea. Write a new agreement with yourself today. Be honest with yourself about what you truly want. What do you really want for your life? If you are honest with yourself, if you're like, you know what? This part of my life is not okay. I've been telling myself, oh, it's not too bad. It's okay. No, we have to get to a point where we are fully honest with ourselves and we agree to not step back from the truth, because the truth will set you free, but only if you're honest and take action on that. What's not okay? What will you stop settling for? In 2017, when I went to that Bob Proctor seminar in LA, he asked that question. I have a picture. He was right here down in the ground. I was sitting right there where Sean is, and I remember having this picture, and even the slide in the back says, what do you really want? I remember that moment so vividly. And at that moment, I had my insurance and financial services business. It was growing. It was thriving. And when he asked, what do you really want? I don't know where it came from because I had never had the thought or the feeling, but all I could feel in that moment was, I want to do what he's doing. I was just so captivated by the energy, the information, the transformation that was happening in that room. My soul, my spirit spoke to me that's you. That's what you need to be doing. And I wish that I could tell you that as soon as I got back to the office on Monday, I quit, I turned down that business, I shut it off, and I started working toward being a speaker and coach. But I didn't. I let my paradigm bring me back to my comfort zone. I heard that little inner voice telling me, nobody has ever paid you for coaching. Nobody has ever paid you for speaking. Nobody has even asked you about it. What makes you think that you can make money doing that? And I believed that lie. And so it took me a couple of years and some things happening in order for me to get back to that truth, to get back to being honest with myself and saying, you know what, if I don't do it now, then when? If I don't do this now, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. And I knew that the pain of that was something I didn't want to deal with. I could deal with the pain of making a change and it not working out, but I knew in my heart that I could not deal with the pain of looking back 60 years later and living in regret for what could have been. And I'm not saying that for you to start thinking, oh, do I need to get out of real estate? No, real estate's a phenomenal career. I want you to start thinking about where are you settling? Can you make 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much money as you're making right now? Can you make that much more of an impact in the lives of others? In your physical health, how strong can you get? How much energy can you build? In your relationships, how great can you be a friend, a parent, a spouse? Where have you been settling? Because I know from experience that when we're not honest with ourselves, we might be able to quiet down that voice for a little while, but it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It will always stay there, And then when you see people doing bigger and better things, you start feeling resentful. You're like, man, it's easy for them. No, they just chose to be honest with themselves and listen and take action. And because you're afraid of doing that, it's triggering you. And rather than letting it inspire you and deciding I'm going to take action to create that life, it's easy to sit on the sidelines and criticize. But I don't know anybody that's more successful than me that doesn't want me to win and get to their level. It's like they were saying earlier, average people want people to be average. Why? Because they're not willing to step forward into their greatness. They're not willing to believe in themselves. They don't feel they're worthy of a great life. And they'll rather other people not do those things so that they don't remind them of the bad decision that they made. Step 2, trust yourself. I told you already, when I first was honest with myself about that feeling that I got, I didn't trust myself. I didn't. I did not come back and started that business, but obviously here I am today, so eventually it happened, right? But I had to get to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. I trust myself. I trust my intuition, because your intuition, you can call it whatever, God speaking to you, your inner voice, infinite, whatever it is to you. But your intuition is never wrong. Your intuition is never wrong. And I have made it a practice to follow my intuition to the T. And it is not easy, because most times our intuition is telling us to do things that don't align with the logical mind and the paradigm that we have. And so we have to have faith. That's where faith comes in. Trusting yourself, believing in yourself, believing that no matter what happens, good or bad, you are making the right decision. Because just because you follow your intuition, you trust yourself, you go for it, is that guaranteed to now be a straight road, right? See my buddy Jonathan over here, phenomenal guy. He's done incredible things, so he knows, like, it's not a straight road. There are so many challenges. There are so many roadblocks. But we're going to be challenged and beat down by life no matter what path we take. So why would we go down a path that it's not what we want? If we're going to suffer anyway, we might as well suffer doing the things that we love, chasing the things that we love. It's really what it's all about. Trusting yourself. This is one of my favorite quotes by Dennis Wiley. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. I remember the first time I got that quote, I made it my wallpaper on my computer, on my background on my phone. I just could not get enough of it, because it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Going back to making agreements with yourself about what you're capable of. What are you telling yourself? Well, I'm not experienced enough. I don't have enough of a network. I don't have enough clientele. I don't have enough referrals. I'm not experienced enough. I don't have the knowledge. Whatever, like, those are all, let's be real, excuses. Excuses. Because there are people that are doing better than me and you, that have less knowledge, less experience, but they chose to believe in themselves, trust themselves, and step toward their goals and dreams. And so if there's one thing that I want you to walk away from this today, is that we are all falling short of our potential. And I'm not being negative. I'm saying that there is so much more in you than you have let yourself to believe. There is so much more that you are capable of doing. The impact made in people's lives is nothing compared to what you can do over the next year, 5 years, 10 years. There is so much that you're capable of if you just let go of the idea of who you're not and step into who you are. And who you are, I believe, we're spiritual beings. Our spiritual DNA is perfect. Doesn't mean that we're perfect people, because again, our paradigm, we always don't take the perfect actions, but our spiritual DNA is perfect. God created us to be a unique individual with talents and gifts that can make a big difference in people's lives, but we have to believe that truth. And on the days that life hits you and kicks you down and you don't want to get up, you have to remind yourself of the truth so that it keeps you moving forward. What limiting beliefs do you need to release? How do you speak to yourself about yourself? And I wasn't trying to steal something from my body back there, but a great philosopher once said, I am whatever I say I am. That's Eminem, right? I am whatever I say I am, and it's the truth. What goes after I am is who you're becoming. So I challenge you to never again say anything negatively about yourself after I am. If you're going to speak about yourself, I am confident, I am strong, I am healthy, I am getting better. You have to speak positive. You have to speak life into your life because our thoughts create our feelings. If I say I'm confident, I'm great at what I do, I'm becoming better, I am someone people gravitate to, I am someone people want to do business with, try it out right now. In your mind, you don't have to say it out loud. You can say it out loud if you want. You can say it to your neighbor, but you can say it in your mind. Like, tell yourself, I am someone who attracts great people into my life. I am someone who deserves love. I am someone who is loved by people. I am someone who is not perfect in the personal world, but spiritually I am. Like when you speak to yourself in a positive manner, it's going to generate feelings of empowerment. And when we're empowered, that's when we take the actions that we need to take. Because everything that we do is either out of love or fear. And so everything that everybody does, you can say to you or for you, is out of love. They're either doing it for your love, to love you, or as a cry for help, for love. As a cry for love, right? So you have to speak that positiveness into your life. Step 3, courageously take action toward your truth. It's not enough to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to trust yourself. And then you have to courageously take action toward your truth. Oh, that just flew by. Jack Canfield said, everything you want is on the other side of fear. I don't know how many of you remember or know of Earl Nightingale. One of his quotes, that is one of my favorites, he said, most people tiptoe through life, hoping to make it safely to death. They're just playing it safe. And I played it safe for a long time, and I can still take more risks, and I still try to get myself every day pumped up to take bigger and larger risks because we still have paradigms that are slowing us down and holding us back, and it's on us to push through that terror barrier. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. At the moment that you get inspired about something greater in your life and you make a committed decision in your mind that you're going to do it, you're going to hit that terror barrier. You're going to feel anxiety. You're going to feel the nerves. You're going to feel the paradigm fighting you to keep you in your comfort zone. And if you don't have the right mindset, the right tools, the right strategies, the right people to help you push through that terror barrier, you're going to find yourself back in your comfort zone, settling for the same things. And a year later, attending a conference like this, doing the same thing again and feeling like, man, I should be doing better by now. You can't beat yourself up, but you have to understand that in order to succeed in life in a big way, you have to step out in faith to the other side of fear. So which one action are you committed to taking right now? If you're honest with yourself and you have faith, you have to take action. I believe if somebody says they have faith, but they're not taking action, that's not faith. It's not. How can you say, I believe, I have faith, and you're not taking action? It's just not in alignment. It's incongruent. So what one action are you committed to taking right now? Maybe there's a large transaction that you've been avoiding, a large client that you feel uncomfortable approaching because I'm not worthy of it. I'm not successful enough to work with that type of client. I'm not going to go after that type of property. Or like, what is it that you want? And forget about your credentials at this point. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you want and going after it 100%.